A very happy Christmas to you from St. George's Chapel, Windsor. Listening to the choir reminds me that this season of carols and Christmas trees is a time to take stock, a time to reflect on the events of the past year and to make resolutions for the new year ahead. This December, we are looking back not just 1 year, but on 100 years and 1,000 years. History is measured in centuries. More than ever, we are aware of being a tiny part of the infinite sweep of time when we move from one century and one millennium to another. Here at Windsor, the first fortifications were started by William the Conqueror in the earliest years of this millennium. The castle we see today is the result of continual evolution and change over the last 1,000 years. And as I look to the future, I have no doubt at all that the one certainty is change, and the pace of that change will only seem to increase. This is true for all of us, young and old. At my mother's 99th birthday last August, I was struck how the inevitability of change affects us all, and how different were my mother's early years compared with those of my grandchildren. Birthdays like Christmas are a good time to get the family together. And last summer, we had all the generations well represented.
Granny, do you remember years ago at Sandringham? Was it Audrey Booth?
My mother's birthday was also an opportunity to have a photograph taken of the 4 generations together.
OK, if I could just have your attention now, that's lovely.
As a family, we cover quite a time span. My mother can tell us about elderly relatives from her childhood whose memories went back into the middle of the 19th century. My grandchildren's experiences will in turn take them towards the end of the 21st century. For many of their generation, the future is a source of excitement, hope, and challenge. Tonight I'm giving a reception in Edinburgh for people under the age of 30 from all over Scotland. They've been invited because they have already achieved success or recognition in their lives. I'm looking forward to hearing what they think about the future.
I think at the moment particularly, I feel like everybody's kind of building up to something somehow. Things have an added importance because it's 1999.
A lot of parents are going back into further education and things because they can have childcare now, so it's definitely something that's expanding the millennium.
It's really good, isn't it?
I think there's going to be a lot of new things happening in the millennium. I think everybody's going to be a lot more upbeat and using technology a lot more, using the internet a lot more.
You may remember the movie Braveheart.
Oh, yeah.
We actually made the video game for Braveheart.
So. Really? You cycled from where to where?
Well, we were in Cyprus and we moved across to Edinburgh. And we, 8 of us,
back?
we cycled back.
That's uphill too, isn't it?
It is so encouraging talking to these young people. They are able to look forward to a future of opportunity and greater achievement. Others, however, the future is a cause of understandable anxiety. There are many, for example, of my generation, or amongst the more vulnerable in society, who worry that they will be left behind. The sheer rate of change seems to be sweeping away so much that is familiar and comforting.
Pretty exotic, right?
But I don't think that we should be over-anxious. We can make sense of the future if we understand the lessons of the past. Winston Churchill, my first Prime Minister, said that the further backward you look, the further forward you can see. And it was this importance of history which was much in my mind when I opened the new Scottish Parliament in July this year. devolution in Scotland and Wales, and more recently, the very welcome progress in Northern Ireland, are responses to today's changed circumstances, but they need to be seen in their historical context. The Scottish Parliament is new, but its many links with the past were expressed through symbols and ceremony. Traditions are important all over the world. Last month, on my visit to South Africa, I went to a township school in Alexandra, outside Johannesburg, which has received financial aid from Britain. Africa has a unique place in my affections, and there is always something so very special about the warmth and enthusiasm of the traditional African welcome. There was the same exuberance and happiness as I and other Commonwealth leaders arrived in Durban for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Many of us at this conference highlighted how the varied strands of our shared history have been woven together so that we can more effectively address the challenges and opportunities ahead. Our common past has played a crucial part in bringing so many peoples together into the modern Commonwealth. Looking out here over the streets of Durban, you quickly get a sense of how people from different cultures have come together. And it's the energy and creativity of this which is so very exciting. That, to me, is what the Commonwealth is all about. As with the process of devolution in the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth reminds us all of the importance of bringing the lessons of the past to bear on the aspirations for a better future. Talking to Prime Ministers and Presidents in Durban, the need was brought home to me for all of us to draw from our history those constant and unchanging values which have stood the test of time and experience.
Next time it'll be Scottish.
Fairness and compassion, justice and tolerance. These are the landmarks from the past which can guide us through the years ahead. These timeless values tell us above all about the way we should relate to people rather than to things, thinking of others, not just of ourselves. Earlier this year in Manchester, I visited some of the emergency services, whose responsibilities day in and day out are based on concern for others. As always, they are on duty over these Christmas and New Year holidays. Some of these firefighters had gone well beyond Manchester to give assistance to others. Have you been out there?
Yes, 10 times. I normally drive the wagon out loaded with the aid.
It was humanitarian aid consisting of tents.
Earlier this year, this group had been working in very difficult conditions amongst the refugees in the Balkans.
The refugee camps and see where some of this stuff went as well.
Up and down the country, people like these are working tirelessly to help others. They remind us of the responsibility of each and every one of us to show concern for our neighbours and those less fortunate than ourselves. I believe that this provides us with the direction and resolve required for the years ahead. The future is not only about new gadgets, modern technology, or the latest fashion, important as these may be. At the centre of all our lives, today and tomorrow, must be the message of caring for others, the message at the heart of Christianity and all the great religions. This message, love thy neighbour as thyself, may be for Christians 2,000 years old. but it is as relevant today as it ever was. I believe it gives us the guidance and the reassurance we need as we step over the threshold into the 21st century. And I, for one, am looking forward to this new millennium. May I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and in this year of all years, a very happy New Year.
The British House of Commons is on holiday